Coming up, we review the APL, including Joe Edwards via Skype. Scott Thorborn tells us about his day job. Fun in the studio with footy legend Grenville Dietrich. We meet champions, the SA Wombats, and discuss how your club can reduce risk.
Hey, welcome back. Another week of Bowls Exposed. Thanks for joining us today. This week, again, Jess Alvaro.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And North Adelaide and West Torrens' absolute champion goalkeeper, Grenville Dietrich.
Pleasure to be here, TJ.
So, as you know, I'm on a bit of a weight loss diet. We haven't got any fives. Grenville's actually making a five for me today.
Yes, I'm TJ's official shirt stretcher for next year's shirt.
And aren't I appreciative of that? Coming up in the show, David Millington from the MGA Insurance Brokers is going to come on the show and talk about insurance and why it's so important to Bowl Club. We'll be talking all things APL and actually getting a Skype interview with Joe Edwards herself. Looking forward to that. And also Joan Prosser, SA Sports Star SA Award recipient. So we'll look forward to hearing an interview that we had with her pre-recorded.
And still to come later in the show, we have some late breaking news.
So stay tuned and enjoy the show.
First, TJ, we caught up with Scott Thorburn, Allied Endurance player, to have a chat about his day job. So let's have a look at that footage.
My name's Scott Thorburn. I've been a Greenkeeper at LA Bowling Club for coming up on my 7th season. I was lucky to strike this job opportunity when I was living in Barossa Valley at the time, working up at Newryupta Bowling Club after I finished my apprenticeship. And yeah, come down here to one of the busiest social clubs in South Australia. I've really enjoyed the challenge and it's been really enjoyable. I've got 3 greens here at Adelaide. They're all tipped off. One of the more preferred grasses to play on by all the bowlers going around. Every week's sort of a battle. You're always fighting the weather conditions that comes for greenkeeping. You know, when you get excessive heat, the greens sort of tend to dry out by Thursday, so you've got to try to get some more water on without upsetting all the bowlers that come out on a Saturday saying why they're a little bit slow. What have you done? Haven't you been at work this week is the most common one I get. I'm pretty fortunate that I play a lot of bowls to coincide with my work. And I've got sort of some good volunteers here that help out. It's quite a full-on job, like sort of 7-day job. So obviously with your grass, it's always playing at its best bowls when it's nice and dry. And obviously grass needs a lot of water to grow. So it's just about sort of timing your waterings and then timing your cutting and rolling so that when you come around to game day, they're at the best they can be, which is generally your Saturday pennants. And that's sort of probably one of the only advantages of synthetic green is it's a bit more tolerable to wear and tear to a grass green, but you can ask any bowler around and it's, you know, grass green's the most enjoyable surface to play on.
Hey guys, we had some Facebook comments during the week. They actually got some fans out there and not the ones you buy in the electrical department. Mate, interesting, Hamley Bridge looking at their Christmas function. They want to set up a stall at 4 p.m. They want help, so Grenville's on his way.
I'm sure there'll be a heap of people at Hamley Bridge for that.
Absolutely, the pub's open, I'm sure. And shout out Glenn Jones. Glenn Jones commented, good to see Buddha on the show.
Beautiful.
We actually had to drag him off the set at the end of that.
Oh, I can imagine.
And Buddha reckons I've actually edited some of it. Well, that's not true at all. We edited most of it.
I had a few comments this week saying that we're doing a great job and they're all enjoying the show. So
yep.
Nick told us to keep it up. So
well, that's good. And look, you know, thanks very much for the people that do come up to us and approach us off air. Look, we are volunteers. We do enjoy doing what we do here for the show and to try and bring you guys something that's worthwhile watching. So keep the comments up. Remember, the Bowls Exposed Facebook page. Get on there and like it. You know, we're getting some traction there, so enjoy the show. Like I said, we've got Grenville. Grenville, mate, younger days, goal kicking was the business you're in.
Yeah, grew up playing footy and cricket and basketball and amongst all other sports.
Yep. So look, mate, renowned for your time at North Adelaide, and you went for a bit of a trip across the border. Football, tackling, physical activity, lawn bowls. Mate, there is a massive gap there. Tell me, what drives you to want to come and play the great game of lawn bowls?
Oh, it's just when I got involved, it was renowned as an old person sport, but these days it's been taken over by the young people. So I suppose that was the main reason. I had a lot of mates playing, went down to Rosewater, enjoyed the social side of it, and got hooked.
And we've still got him, hook, line, and sinker. And look, of course, the bar at Rosewater's never felt so strong. As I said, we've got the shirt stretcher. But mate, there's a lot of great times that you would have had through your sporting career. What would be the most memorable?
Definitely the State of Origin game when we beat Victoria at home in front of 45,000 people. So not winning a premiership at North, I suppose that'd have to take the cake.
So throughout all that and the state game, whatever else, most memorable bowls experience?
Oh, there's been so many. I think I won a couple of midweek pennants. I suppose they'd have to be top of the pile. There's not too many individual awards that I've won. So I suppose the couple of pennants at the end of the day.
Oh mate, look, I can tell you what, there's plenty of people, Jess, that I guess haven't won a pennant.
No,
so
I haven't, no.
Yeah, there's not too many people. Now, how many goals did you kick for North Adelaide, mate? It was about, what, 4,000?
No, I think in the end I played 127 games and ended up with about 527 goals. So.
Oh, it's a good effort.
Absolutely good effort. So, mate, thanks for coming along today, and we really appreciate you jumping. We know Reece is off a little bit under the weather at the moment, so really appreciate you jumping in, mate.
No, not a problem anytime. Thanks, TJ.
Grenville, bowls is for everyone, mate, and the Bowls Exposed team have been out and about again.
Yes, and the good thing about bowls is, TJ, that there's a lot of people with disability that play.
Absolutely, and look, our guys have gone out and interviewed David Bailey and Chris Flavel from the SA Disability team, so let's cross that and see how that interview went.
So Dave, tell us about the Wombats.
Okay, the Wombats is a physical disability lawn bowls team that I run through what used to be wheelchair sports but is now disability recreation sport. We've just come back from our nationals up in the Gold Coast where the team won a bronze in the triples, a silver in the pairs, and Chris Flavel from Lockleys won the gold in the singles.
Sensational. It sounds like you had a great trip.
We did.
I started playing bowls when I was 10, so I'm 31 now, so in the 22nd season. It's a common question I get. My disability is what you call FSH-MD. It's muscular dystrophy, so it's a muscle wasting disease. It's not the most common form. Most people think of Gaucher's and the ones that affects little kids, that you see them in wheelchairs and all that all the time. Mine's probably the second most prevalent. It's can either affect you as a kid, which has rapid onset, or in my case, it affects you in your late teens to early adulthood, and it's a slow decline. Each individual case is different, and each individual person has their own challenges and problems associated with it. For me personally, I think it's a strength thing, so muscles get tired, or, the big up shots and that, sometimes I lose a bit of the control and stability and things like that, but at the moment I'm fortunate enough that I'm still fairly competitive in most able-bodied bowls.
And must mention too, Chris also won the International Bowler of the Year for his efforts at World Championships earlier this year.
I've been involved with the Wombats for about 3 years, since the initial call-up for expression of interest for disabled bowls going into the last Commonwealth Games.
Oh, some great talent here.
Yeah, we're about a dozen strong in our Wombat side, and we all get on very well, and most of us play in different club situations and pennants.
I've known Dave Bailey since I've been involved in the Wombats. He's a club coach, all-round mentor and team captain. So yeah, he's been involved in disabled sport and bowls for a long time, and keeps us on his toes, and helps us organise our trips away and select sides. He does everything. So puts in a mountain of work, and sometimes doesn't get the accolades for it. So top bloke.
The Sports SA Awards Night's coming up on the 25th of November at the Adelaide Convention Centre, and our own Joan Prosser is up for award for the Club Official of the Year. So it will be an exciting one. She's up against a few other people, but she's got a good chance. So.
Sponsored by Club One. Look, interesting, the soccer official, Matthew Cream. Might be a physiotherapist, you never know. And Steve Davis, the cricket official.
Ex-umpire, I'm sure, Steve Davis.
Absolutely. So we caught up with Joan recently. We'll go and have a look at that footage now.
Well, I resisted for many, many years. My parents played bowls. I listened to their bowling talk for a long while. Then I married Wayne. I was a cricket widow for many years. Then he took up bowls, so we're back to bowls talk again. And eventually, I resisted because of the dress code. Eventually, when shorts came in, I thought, okay, I can play bowls now. Probably I thought about it for a while. My sister and Wayne used to talk umpiring questions, measuring questions, and I was quite intrigued. So I thought, oh yes, I could do this. And I also realised the clubs needed help. So I thought, yes, I'll be an umpire. Well, World Bowls, of course, was the pinnacle, but I do enjoy officiating under 18s. There's so much talent out there and it's a pleasure to watch them. Quite staggered actually. I had no idea I was nominated eventually when I got my first letter. I do appreciate pain and putting my name forward, and I'm quite daunted. There are a lot of people who volunteer out there, and I don't like to be singled out, but I would do it on behalf of all the umpires and volunteers. It used to be quite a lengthy process of going through the law book over many weeks and sitting there reading it, but now participants receive a manual, which is excellent. It's probably the best I've ever seen. They read that and then come along with their own questions, and it's just opened it up for an easier pathway to become an umpire. The hot weather policy, I'll talk on behalf of the women here. Women don't like playing when it's hot, so 36 degrees is a good cut-off temperature, but more importantly, the heat policy now allows us to start earlier, and like Saturday morning instead of calling the game off, so it's going to be better for everyone who play bowls. Probably it brings the community into the clubs. A lot of clubs are now opening up their clubs for functions, and communities are coming into the club, night owls, people, and it's very important for the clubs, for finance and for people too. Oh, well, I have got grandchildren. They aren't at the age of bowling yet. They do come to the club, but they're more interested in the lemonade and the chips. But they have had a few roll-ups, so they're into their own sport at this stage, but I can see they'll be joining us in fun functions in the future.
Well, let's have a chat about the APL and what happened last week. It was a big game, last end shot for New Zealand to win. Break Adelaide's hearts again, but third in a row being finalists, it's great on the boys. What did you think of the games?
Look, you know, at the end of the day, the guys started off the tournament, and look, they obviously got a feel for it and finished in second position, which is great. And look, you know, if you want to jump right forward to the last game and right to the last bowl, it really, Max Kleinig puts the bowl in. What more can he do? Holding shot with Ali Forsyth's last bowl, puts it up through weight, picks it clean, kitty into the ditch. I mean, yeah, it's a heartbreaking end, but look, at the end of the day, the SA guys, the Adelaide Endurance did everything they could. Homegrown talent, no imports, fantastic effort, and they should all be very proud of themselves because we know we are.
Yes.
So well done.
Yeah.
So Joe, from a perspective here for the Adelaide Endurance, we know that they do a lot of pre-work on similar surfaces. What was the pre-work that the Blackjacks had prior to going over?
It was pretty hard over here because Ali lives in Melbourne, and Shannon and I are both from the same small town, so I know Shannon did a lot of work just on grass greens, and I did a fair bit of work. We've got a carpet out at the Richmond Bowling Club, which I was allowed to practice out there, so we don't have any undercover stadiums as such anywhere near where I live, so you just kind of got to make do with what you've got.
Well, I'll tell you what, you made do pretty well, didn't you? Hey? Made do and took off with the silverware. Look, through the series, you guys started off really well and maintained that momentum, but was there any time during that tournament that you guys sort of thought, well, hey, we're going to have to pick it up another gear?
I think pretty much every game you go on. It's such a crazy format where, you can think that you've outplayed your opposition and get beaten in 2 sets, and then pox a win when you're not playing so good. So you just can't go in with any real confidence. You just got to go into a game and fly a little bit by the seat of your pants and just go with what you feel's right at the time, which might not be right for the next game. So, and win or lose the game, it's almost like, righto, where's the next game, what rink, and it's just moving on to the next game. So, it's pretty hard to gain confidence, but getting a few wins under your belt certainly does help.
Yeah, look, obviously there's pressure. You're on a TV rink, and what we see on Foxtel, you got the TV rink, you got the crowd. But moving our focus away, there's a lot more intensity goes in behind the scenes, isn't there? So those games really, I think, what make the backbone. It's a different format out there too, isn't it?
Sure, we play 3 games out on the back green, which you run across the seams of the carpet, which is probably the way they should be played. And with the TV rink, the seam is the centre line, so, which poses a couple of problems in itself. But, I think we've all played in the last 2 APLs, so Ali especially has learnt how to play weighted shots, where to stand on the mat to avoid the seam and things like that. So I think, we've gained a lot of experience by just playing on the TV rink.
Yep. Excellent. Jess, you had a question there?
Yeah, a few of the Adelaide people when we were watching the game said they've actually represented sport for New Zealand, a couple of different sports throughout your life. What's been your most memorable occasion representing New Zealand?
Oh, good question. It's, obviously the first Commonwealth Games gold medal way back in the day in 2002. That was pretty special. I'd just made the New Zealand team the year before and had to go to England and Manchester to play there, which I think was totally out of our comfort zone. Different bowls, different technique, different game plans, different deliveries. And, to win a big one over there, I think that was probably one of the more special ones. But, in saying that, the World Bowls are our Olympics of the sport, and lucky enough to win a couple of them at 2004 and 2008. So, and then you've got this APL where it's such a different tournament. Being the only female player and amongst the blokes, it is very, very special in a different way as well.
So it's funny you bring that up because Karen Murphy's obviously in Hong Kong, just picked up a gold medal in her pairs, but you mentioned only female. So how does that environment sit? Was it hostile environment for you, or they all make you feel at home?
Oh, look, definitely not hostile at all. They, I couldn't bag any of them, to be fair. They showed me a lot of respect, and there was the odd time our boys would say something and they'd turn to me and say, "Oh, you didn't hear that, did you?" Just a bit of boys banter, and but the 2 boys, Shannon and Ali, were just fantastic with me. They accepted me and treated me like one of the boys, which is what I wanted. I don't want to be treated special or different or whatever. I'm a bowler that's playing in a tournament, and they certainly treated me like that, which put me at ease straight away.
It's fantastic. Look, we got told obviously it was important that we got a holdie on this cross today. You're back for a week and then you're off again.
Yeah, no rest for the wicked. Yeah, off to Christchurch for the Asia Pacific Games on Friday, which they start Tuesday week. So a big 2.5 weeks. Yeah, thank you.
Well, look, I think from all of us here, well done. Well, maybe not so well done because our boys have come back with a little bit less baggage than we intended. Maybe 4 times the chance for the Adelaide Endurance. But look, congratulations and well done.
Hey, thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, Joe. Bowls Exposed, we've got David Millington from the MGA Insurance Brokers. And look, this is not a very, very exciting subject, so let's get some background music. No, not that one. I am bound for the promised land. No, not that one. One more. That'll do it. David, risk measures in place, you said. So clubs have got to realise about risk and protecting themselves against that. So what does that mean for a club and from an insurance broker's point of view?
TJ, what it means is that As life goes on, bowls clubs are going to be more responsible for their own actions. We all don't want premiums to go up, we don't want excesses to go up. So the idea is the bowling clubs have got to do certain aspects themselves to make sure these claims don't happen. If you can put certain measures in place and avoid the claims, everybody wins because the premiums stay down, the insurance companies are happy with you, so extra benefits are in place. So it's just a little bit of money spent just to help yourself moving forward. Little things like making sure the flues and the filters are always clean because fat fires can be a real problem. Things like just making sure that the place is clean and tidy and there's always someone there to help out if things have gone wrong at the club. Obviously extra security is fantastic. Bowling clubs can be very, very vulnerable places both in the city and in the country.
You know, you've gone through about risk and potential and so forth, but it can really have a toll. I mean, is there an example where I think you could give that clubs have really suffered to the detriment from not having this in place?
I certainly can. We've had 2 or 3 fire claims which can devastate a club. And again, that's all a bit about risk management as well. A lot of clubs aren't necessarily aware of all the things that can be put in place for a very, very small insurance premium. You can get marquees put up, you can get cool rooms, you can get portable toilets. As I said, all these sorts of facilities can be put into place should a major fire occur, so the club doesn't have to close down, can still look after everybody in the community and all the members that want to participate in this, which is what bowling clubs do. They're not just a bowling club, they're a community hub as well.
Exactly right.
Yep, just a little bit of insurance can go a long way.
Is there, from experience that you've had over 20 years, maybe a list of things that you could go through and help those clubs with, look, you know, the mitigating of risk and the maintenance? Most
definitely there is, and in fact it even goes to another stage. There is a major issue out there which is called underinsurance, and that's along the lines that if something major should happen at a club, you've got to make sure you've got the right sum insureds in place. And there are structures and processes that you need to adhere to make sure that you're not badly out of pocket should that claim occur. Plus the other one, which you would know a lot about, that's been a major issue in the last couple of years, is heat exposure and those types of things, and weather exposure. We've got heavily involved with Bowls SA over the last 4 or 5 years now to make sure that clubs are becoming more and more aware about what their risk factors are in relation to things like heat and hydration all the time, and even things like storms and lightning and that sort of thing. So all of these things are things that we will get heavily involved in with clubs to help them out, to make sure that they are aware of all the issues that can actually just help the whole process along.
So if there can be visibly seen lightning in the area, what is the best advice you can give a club?
There is a process in place, yes. There's already a procedure by Bowls SA which they put to all the clubs to put in their constitutions, and that is exactly that if there is signs of lightning, then you have every right for the club or is it the referee?
The umpire of the day?
That'll do, the umpire of the day. There's every reason for them to make that decision to call play off until such time as they believe it's clear.
Well, do you know in golf when there's lightning, it is actually feasible to go out and use a 2-iron all over the course, because they reckon not even God could hit a 2-iron.
That's exactly right. And look, and that's an important point, because I have been involved for 20 years, and 20 years ago, none of these risk procedures were even thought about, let alone considered.
No, there was 20 years ago.
There was
How the
lightning.
world has changed.
No, well,
El Nino effect.
Good, yes,
David,
there you go.
It's called the El Nino effect, introduction of lightning.
And you must be able to get insurance for that, surely. None of these things did. People didn't wear coloured clothes. I mean, the game's changed enormously. No, they did not. No, and they had to wear stockings, and that was mainly the ladies. But a lot of things have changed in that time, and I can tell you that. As
I would have thought to pay the insurance premium more on over your head, but
yeah, pay the insurance premiums has always been there for 20 years. But yeah, look, it is important now. Things have changed. We've got to think differently, and things like lightning and heat. Seriously, no one would have even given it a thought. In fact, it would have been she'll be right, mate. You would have told your mates bowling with you that, you know, if someone was feeling unwell, bad luck, keep going. And he would have thought, yep, I've got to keep going for my mates. I'm sorry, it's all changed. You can't do that anymore. You've got to be careful that everyone's fit and well.
I'm shocked, David. So you're telling me coloured clothes, coloured bowls, and El Nino has caused lightning. We're the cause of it. The modern bowlers are the cause of it. Unbelievable.
That's why I've come here. That's why we're doing this segment. We needed to get to the hub of it.
There you go. Look, David, and all jokes aside, look, for the clubs, you really need to explore this, and it is serious because, we take a lot of time and a lot of volunteers, a lot of energy to keep our clubs up and running, and David's dead right. The fear of underinsurance and the risk. We're in that world now where a lot of things do go wrong, can go wrong. People are looking for to mitigate those expenses, and we need to jump on board. And look, give David a call at the MGA Insurance Brokers and see what he can do for you. David, thanks very much for joining the show.
TJ, my pleasure.
Thank you. Grenville Bowls SA named national winner of the Good Sports 2015 Leadership in Sport Award.
I think we're going to bring you more on this on the next show about what they've won, and we'll get some more information.
Look, jump on Bowls Expose. We've got a YouTube channel.
And we've also got a Facebook channel, and feel free to leave us a comment on what you would like for us to talk about.
And we do take those ideas on board, and we get Albert to run out there like last week with Blackwood. So, and once again, Grenville, what a show, mate. Been some fun in the studio.
Certainly has, and just before I go, Buddha, don't worry about commenting on Facebook, we'll edit that too.
So, hey, look, jump on board, watch us again next week. In the meantime, send those comments through. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks very much.